When the world changes, you change with it. By embracing new rhythms, redefining connection, and taking less for granted, you push through the uncertainty. And at every point along the way, we stand with you. Because even when your world looks different, our commitment to your care stays the same.
Unrivaled agility and SDN's managed cybersecurity services help Hank connect and serve all of his office locations with ease. Up your IT game with SDN's reliable broadband network. Enjoy the uptime. Unrivaled agility and SDN's managed cybersecurity.
When the world changes, you change.
Hello, guest. We are pleased to have you at HowardWoodField. The Sioux Falls School District Activities Department's top priority is and will be the health and safety of our students.
Check, 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 check.
Check, 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 check. Okay. Mic 1, test 1, 2, 3. Mic 1, test 1, 2, 3. Mic 2, test 1, 2, 3. Mic 2, test 1, 2, 3. Good. Yeah.
Matty Leach.
That's part of their protocol thing.
Riley Harper. Sandy Coons. Tia Tykes. And Melvin. They're our brightest cheerleaders are coached by Gavin Harvey. And now the cheerleaders for your visiting team, the Washington Warriors, are Anna Augustus, Zoe Bushland, Lexi Goldman, Addie Madsen, Campbell McKay, Kayla Messner, Lauren Mitchell, Sophie O'Connor, Lucy Schmutz, and Al Wilson. The Rough Riders cheerleaders are coached by Cindy Jones, assisted by Dennis Randon. Wearing number 34, playing at end, senior Aaron Thomas. Wearing number 4, playing linebacker, junior J.D. Federal. Wearing number 33, playing linebacker, senior Randolph Mackay. Wearing number 46, playing linebacker, junior Gabe Cyrus. Wearing number 44, playing linebacker, junior Patrick Osborne. Wearing number 18, playing left cornerback, sophomore Mandela Muhammad. Wearing number 42 and playing strong safety, junior Ashton Zeitz. Wearing number 20, playing free safety, junior Matt Agabit. And wearing number 6, playing right quarterback, senior Luke Behrens. Head coach for the Warriors is Ryan Evans. And now the starting offense for your Roosevelt Rough Riders. First for the Rough Riders, wearing number 56, playing center, junior Nick Butler. Wearing number 78, playing guard, junior Dylan Cusco. Wearing number 65, playing guard, senior Nick Polo. Wearing number 67, and tackle, senior Sam Gold. Wearing number 66, playing tackle, junior Joe Cotton. Wearing number 7 and playing quarterback, sophomore Taylor Ashley. Wearing number 9, he is a senior running back, Joe Correa. Wearing number 84, a senior wide receiver, Noah Hart. Wearing number 1, he is a senior wide receiver, Tyler Thompson. Wearing number 17, a senior receiver, Presley Johnson. And wearing number 88, he is a sophomore wide receiver, Griffin Wilden. Head coach for the Rough Riders is Kim Nelson. Your officials for tonight's contest are Jason Selcher, Brian Reitman, Trey Pryor, Mike King, and Randy Grisham. These officials are registered by the South Dakota High School Activities Association. They have worked hard to learn the rules and apply them fairly. We request that we respect their honest efforts in administering this contest. and placing your right hand over your heart. All veterans in out-of-uniform military personnel may salute the flag as our national anthem is played. Ladies and gentlemen, our national anthem.
Roosevelt won the toss. They will receive.
Good evening from HowardWoodField, and welcome to this presentation of high school football on the HowardWoodField YouTube channel. Today we have a matchup between the Sioux Falls Roosevelt Rough Riders, who are undefeated coming into the season, and the Sioux Falls Washington Warriors, coming in with a record of 3-5. The Rough Riders already have the #1 seed locked up, so this game really does not matter to them, but they would still like to beat their rival Washington today. And the Warriors really probably can't do much for seeding either, except maybe avoid falling. Well, they beat Aberdeen Central, so Washington is pretty much locked up into position anyways as the 6th seed, as they will likely play the Harrisburg Tigers or maybe the O'Gorman Knights. The winner of that matchup should get Washington. And we are underway, and a little squib kick and is fumbled right away. Feldkamp picks it up, returns it to the 20-yard line, where it'll be pushed out of bounds at the 22, which is where Taylon Ashley, the sophomore quarterback for the Riders, will start his opening drive, and he has been phenomenal this year. After a rough first game at Brandon Valley, he's really turned it on over these last 5 games, and he is leading to the Riders to a 6-0 record this year, despite not playing 2 weeks in a row due to multiple COVID outbreaks not even within their team. He's got a lot of weapons with Tyler Feldkamp, Presley Johnson, and Michael Paulson, and 2 really good running backs, like in Tyree Nib and Joe Teray. And there's a handoff up the middle to, I believe, Teray. He gets it to the 27, a gain of 5. And it's 2nd and 5 for the Riders. And Roosevelt going a little hurry-up offense right away to start the game. Ashley play action over the middle. Feldkamp caught, first down. Tyler makes a nice move down the right sideline. Tyler Feldkamp cuts back. Tyler Feldkamp down the sideline inside the 35-yard line. And an explosive play. We'll see a lot of those today from this Rough Rider offense. First down and 10. And the Riders hurrying up back to the line again. And Tyler Feldkamp has had a really nice bounce-back year. After a rough junior season, after a really good sophomore season, he's picked it up for the Riders. And there's Teray right up the middle. And he will just keep pushing forward to the 26. And it sets up 2nd and short for the Riders. And the offense going hurry up again. Only a minute into the game and the Riders are already threatening. Ashley play action over the middle. Dropped by Feldkamp over the middle. It was a good throw by Ashley. He hit Feldkamp right in the numbers, and could not haul it in. 3rd and short for the Riders in 4-down territory. Ashley gets the call. $15 on the play clock for Taylon Ashley. Ashley takes a snap. Maybe a little early movement there on the offensive line. No call. And Ashley gets dragged down after a gain of 3. Should be enough for the first down. And Ashley's able to keep the drive moving for Roosevelt. And yes, they will call it a first down. So Roosevelt able to move the chains. Now the Rider offense will slow down a little bit. Ashley in pistol formation. 3 receivers to his left, and the ball is fumbled, and Ashley's able to jump right on the ball. A near disaster there on the opening drive for the Riders at 2nd and 15 from the 28. So now a little setback here for this offense to start their first drive. Ashley takes the snap, hands off Teray up the middle. Joe Teray bounces off a tackle and is wrapped up by multiple Warriors. Gains a couple yards, and it's 3rd and long for the Riders as they'll face their toughest 3rd down yet of the game. Third down and 13, 9.5 minutes to go in quarter number 1. Feldkamp in motion. Ashley play action, looking deep to the end zone, and it's caught for the touchdown. It's Tyler Feldkamp with a 26-yard reception from Ashley. A beautiful pass, and the Riders strike first. It's 6-0. We won't see the replay here, but it's a tremendous throw from Ashley and a nice catch there in the back of the end zone by Feldkamp, excuse me. Bennett Yellowbird on to attempt the PAT. Kick is good, but a whistle and a flag, maybe an offsides here.
After this, we try the point.
Now we'll see if the Riders maybe want to go for it here, now that it's on the 1-yard line, but it looks like they're going to still go for just the extra point. and not try and get extra points. And that time, Yellowbird puts it through again, and the Riders lead at 7-0 after a good first drive for Roosevelt by Taylor Ashley. And the ground game, everything was solid there. And the Warriors will now look to answer that Roosevelt score when we come back.
Unrivaled agility and SDN's managed cybersecurity services help Hank connect and serve all of his office locations with ease. Up your IT game with SDN's reliable broadband network. Enjoy the uptime.
Welcome back to HowardWoodField. 9:21 left in the first quarter. The Riders up by 7. Paxton Fleming ready to kick it away to the Warriors. And Fleming with a short kick. It'll be caught at the 15 and returned for the Warriors. Can't tell who looked like it was Gabe Friedrich as the linebacker. And Max Thompson will start from the 24 for his first drive. As Washington looks to answer, and that's probably what they're going to have to do. They're just going to have to answer Roosevelt scores with their own. And this Roosevelt defense still lost a lot of guys last year, but has still been very good this year. Most points they've given up in a game this year, I believe, is 21, without looking at my schedule. And Thompson hands off to the right to Michael Johnson, and Michael Johnson is going to get stopped for a loss by that Roosevelt front seven, which has been very good again as it was last year. And Johnson loses a couple yards, and it's 2nd and 12 for Washington, and that's kind of been a struggle for them a lot, is that running game. Michael Johnson hasn't ran the ball great this year, but has shown some flashes of having some good runs in him. And it's 2nd and 12 for Washington from the 24. And another handoff to Johnson up the middle. Decent pickup to the 28. Gain of 4, and it's 3rd and long for Washington, a place where really nobody wants to be on this Roosevelt defense, which is just front seven is penetrating, and they have 2 solid corners with Joey Hughes and Tucker Large. And some subs coming in for the Warriors. They have 8 seconds left on the play clock. Josh Piper in motion to the right. Thompson takes a snap. Here comes pressure. Thompson looking over the middle. It's incomplete. Might have been hit as he threw. And it's a 3 and out for the Washington offense on their first drive, and it'll force a punt. So a good hold by the Roosevelt defense as they get right off the field after their offense just marched down the field and scored a touchdown on the first drive. Now Tucker Large back to receive the punt. Luke Behrens to punt it away. A little bit of a low snap. Behrens gets it off. It's a decent kick, and it's fielded by Large at the 40. Large plants his feet, tries to get around defenders. Nice kick coverage by the Warriors. Matthew Eggman was among many there for the stop, and the Riders will take over for their second drive from the 37-yard line as Taylor Ashley, the sophomore quarterback, will go back to work for the second time tonight. Ashley takes a snap on first down. It's a screen to the right. It's caught Griffin Wilde. Griffin Wilde, the sophomore who's come along to be yet another weapon that Ashley has to throw to. It seemed like they already had enough. And that's a gain of 5 on the screen to the 42-yard line. Yeah, as I said before, Taylor Ashley just has so many people to pick from. He's got Michael Paulson, who we haven't seen on the field tonight, not even sure if he's here. Haven't really heard much on that. And then Feldkamp and Presley Johnson. There's another screen to Wilde, and this time he's going to pick up the first down into Warrior territory up to the 48. First and 10 for the Riders on a gain of 10 by Wilde, his second catch of the drive, second catch of the game. And the Riders will hurry up to the line again. Same formation here on offense for Roosevelt. Feldkamp coming in motion. Ashley takes a snap. He's looking left. He's going to roll, looking downfield to throw. Now he's going to tuck it and run. And Ashley will be tackled down at about the 41. A gain of 7, and it's 2nd and 3 for Roosevelt as they just keep marching down the field. They're looking to go up 14-0 early on here in quarter number 1. They wanted the ball once they won the toss, and they have marched down the field 2 times already. And they're looking to keep on charging. Almost a good jump there at the line of scrimmage by a Warrior, and Ashley throws right. That's caught by Feldkamp. Feldkamp makes a nice move down the sideline up to the 26. First down and 10 Riders on a gain of 15 from Ashley to Feldkamp. This Washington defense is going to have to come up with some answers quick. Otherwise, before this game gets too out of hand, they're probably going to try and have to hold them to a field goal here or something. Maybe force a turnover. Ashley takes a snap, rolls left, will shovel it to Tyree Nave. Tyree Nave takes the shovel pass left down the sideline. He's got a first down and more. Up inside the 15, all the way down to the 13. A gain to 13. First down and 10 Riders as they are inside the red zone for the second time tonight. Or actually the first time tonight, really. As the first touchdown was a 26-yard touchdown. We're about to the halfway point here of the first quarter. Roosevelt getting ready to put up points for the second time tonight. Ashley takes the snap, hands off Tyree Nave up the middle. Tyree Nave, big hole, cuts back inside the 5, down to the 3, first and goal Riders from the 3. And we see Roosevelt work with 2 running backs, Tyree Nave and Joe Teray. Both can put up big nights. And Tyree Nave up the middle. Did he get in? Yes, he did. Touchdown Riders. Tyree Nave with the touchdown as him and Joe Teray have each played one drive and each looked pretty good. And the Riders lead 13-0 after a Tyree Nave touchdown. And number 22, Bennett Yellowbird, will come on for a second extra point of the night. To try and give Roosevelt a 14-0 lead. All smiles down there on the Rider sideline. Yellowbird's extra point almost blocked, but he splits it through the uprights for the extra point, and the Riders jump out to a 14-0 lead. We'll see if the Warriors can bounce back and get an answer on offense when we come back. .5:41 left to go in quarter number 1. Riders lead it by 14. Washington will get the football for the second time tonight. It's Paxton Fleming ready to boot it away. Most of the time can get it to the end zone, but on a cold night he could only get into the 15 on his last kickoff. And this time he boots it into the end zone. That'll be a touchback, and the ball will come out to the 20-yard line. And Paxton Fleming is a nice weapon to have for football too, because you can boot it into the end zone, which is an automatic touchback. And really, teams want to get some good special teams returns because this Roosevelt defense has just performed so well that you'll take any good field position that you can get. And starting back at the 20-yard line after a kickoff just isn't an ideal spot on this defense. Forces you to drive way at least 60 yards just to put up 3 points. Thompson takes a snap in the I formation, hands off Michael Johnson. He is wrapped up for a loss there by that Roosevelt defense. Looked like DJ Watkins was there. Really, the whole D-line was there for the tackle. Gains a yard. 2nd and 9. Thompson back in I formation. Roosevelt kind of stacking the box a little bit. There's a fullback dive up the middle. Not really many people seeing that coming. That was the fullback, Gabe Freeriches, who also plays linebacker and is a pretty good linebacker. Playing a little fullback too. Not a bad idea. Put a linebacker at fullback for some blocks. It's 3rd and short for the Warriors, which is probably where you want to be against this defense. Not 3rd and 9 like they were in their first drive. Third and 4 for the Warriors. Play action for Thompson. Rolls left. Looks left. He's got nowhere to throw. He's going to throw across his body downfield. And it's intercepted by Tucker Large. And Large is going to return it to the left sideline. He's going to cut it. And the ball is loose. And and it's rolling out of bounds. It'll be Roosevelt ball. Roosevelt catches a huge break. Don't know what really happened other than Tucker Large intercepted the ball and then fumbled it on the return. And the Warriors had many chances to fall on the football, but could not. And we'll start. That's not a very good decision by Max Thompson to rolling left and throw across your body into coverage to a guy that was blanketed. I couldn't tell who it was. But whoever he was trying to throw the ball to is really well covered. And Tucker Large just jumps in front of that and intercepts that. And Ashley on 1st down for the Riders throws it to Feldkamp. It's caught. He makes a nice stutter step and cuts to the outside. Tyler Feldkamp inside the 10, all the way down to the 7. A gain of 16. It's 1st and goal Riders. There's a nice move by Feldkamp. That should have only gone for about a gain of maybe 3 or 4 yards. And it went for 16. That's just how explosive he is. And even if you throw it in the flat, he can still make a big play out of it. 1st and goal Riders. Ashley throws it to the screen to Jabe Kiso. And Kiso is wrapped up for no gain. Good defense there by the Warriors. Luke Behrens is there on the tackle. And that's what Washington would like to see more of, as the short pass game and run game is Roosevelt's strength. So if you can wrap up their receivers right there at the line of scrimmage, it's obviously going to be a huge plus for your team. Ashley looking left, pump fakes, draw up the middle. Ashley goes for the end zone, and he's in. Touchdown Riders. Taylor and Ashley on the quarterback draw, and the Riders lead at 20-0 on their 3rd touchdown of the game. Ashley's 2nd total touchdown. He had 1 passing earlier. And Benny Yellowbird comes on for his 3rd extra point of the game already, trying to make it 21-0 already in this 1st quarter. And this extra point is good by Yellowbird. It's 21-0. And the Riders keep the train rolling. It's 21-0. And Washington will be back on offense when we come back. "21-0 Riders with 3:06 left to go in the first quarter. And Paxton Fleming out to boot it away again. And that kick will go inside the 5-yard line, and it'll be fielded at the 1, and it'll be a return here for the Warriors. And he is wrapped up. Malcolm Johnson on the return was wrapped up by Caden Bolt, or maybe Ty Nakaborn, one of the two. Well, that was Azra Muhammad, the defensive back. And Max Thompson back to work for the third time tonight. A couple 3-and-outs for the Warriors, one being an interception that was returned to the 30. And Thompson hands it off on first down to Michael Johnson. He hurdles a man and is pushed out of bounds after a gain of a yard. And Joey Hughes is complaining about something. Couldn't really tell what it was. So Johnson can't get much going on the ground so far. Hard to when you're facing this defense. And it's 2nd and 9 for Washington from the 18. Thompson takes a snap, play action, looks left, and it's intercepted. It's Joey Hughes, and he's going to run it in for the pick six. And the Rough Riders lead at 27-0 on a Joey Hughes pick six. Max Thompson's second pass in a row, or has had 2 passes in a row that have been intercepted. Both have led to scores, and the Riders already jump out to a 27-point advantage. Bennett Yellowbird to attempt his 4th PAT of the game and it's a fake. And Washington snuffs that out. And maybe a little bit excessive there. Already up 27 in the first quarter. Also, you'd think the Riders would save those trick plays for a time when they're actually in need of it, if they're up by maybe less than 2 touchdowns. And maybe want to steal an extra point, or maybe up by 15 and want to make it a 3-score game instead of a 2-score game. But I don't know. Up 27. But anyways, with 2:47 left, Washington will get the football when we come back. Welcome back to HowardWoodField. 2:47 left in the first quarter. Riders already lead 27-0. The Warriors will get the football for the 4th time, and they have not picked up a first down yet today. They'll at least look to do that, and hopefully a little more. And Fleming boots that into the, oh no, not into the end zone. Must have been caught right at the goal line, and Washington's got a pretty solid return out of this with Malcolm Johnson up to the 29, and Washington will have its best field position they've had all day. We'll see if they can take advantage. As the Riders will look to keep on coming and keep up the pressure on this young quarterback. And now if you're Washington, you're already down 27. You're already probably close to looking ahead. to the playoffs, which still yet to be determined, which will be next Thursday, and maybe even a game next Friday, and a run to the left from Michael Johnson, one of his best runs of the day, goes for 5, and it's 2nd and 5. So Brandon Valley and Rapid City Stevens are not playing this week. So Roosevelt, I think even if they would have played, Roosevelt would still have the number 1 seed locked up. And they're well on their way to winning their 7th game of the season and securing the number 1 seed. And they will play the loser of Aberdeen Central and Watertown, which will actually take place tomorrow, which was a postponement from today due to all that snow up in Aberdeen. Play action from Thompson, looking right, and he overthrew his target. He's going for Josh Piper, and a flag at the very end of the play. Could be a roughing the passer. And it is. It's a 15-yard penalty, and the Warriors' first down of the game comes on a roughing the passer penalty. Couldn't catch who it was on. Anyways, and Harrisburg and O'Gorman play tonight. And the winner of that game will probably, more than likely, host Washington. And a handoff to Michael Johnson. Up the middle, the ball is loose, and I think he jumped back on the football. Although Roosevelt's pointing in their direction. And it is their football. Benny Yellowbird, the defensive back / kicker, jumps on the football. I thought Michael Johnson recovered, but he does not, and Washington's got their 3rd turnover of the day already here in the first quarter. Because they just can't get a bounce to go their way here. Yeah, but Benny Yellowbird got a nice jump on that football. He almost looked completely out of the play, but then he just jumped in and was able to secure the football. And already a quarterback change for the Riders, and now they'll use a timeout. So maybe Ashley wasn't ready. But, so other games this week, as we already said, this game is going on. Aberdeen Central plays Watertown tomorrow. The playoffs should be interesting. We'll see if Roosevelt will obviously be the clear favorites after the only team they really struggled with was Brandon Valley, but that was also in an opener of a season, and Roosevelt has ran through everybody in their way since then. But Brandon Valley is always that team that comes along late in the season. That's what happened last year, and they ended up actually getting 2nd to O'Gorman. And then O'Gorman has bounced back after they got beat really bad by Roosevelt in the Dakota Bowl. They've bounced back and played a little bit better. They almost actually lost to Watertown a couple weeks ago, which I found very interesting. But then bounced back and beat Aberdeen Central pretty easily. Yeah, already a quarterback change for the Riders here in the first quarter. It's Javon DeVille, the senior, in the game, and he's going to throw a screen into the ground. Oh, and it's a trick play. Jay Kiso has a guy wide open. It's caught. Unbelievable execution by the Roosevelt Rough Riders. It was Noah Hart, the 5'11 senior. And that just, oh my goodness. He bounced that into that's like the old New England Patriots, Tom Brady to Julian Edelman all the way downfield to whoever play. And that bounce just took a perfect bounce right to Jabe Kiso, who threw an absolute beauty downfield. Again, maybe you want to save that trick play too for some time when you need it. As we saw them, as Tyree Nave runs up the middle for a gain of 9.5. As we saw last year, the Riders did kind of something the same way against O'Gorman in the state semifinal. As it was Tyler Feldkamp, where they kind of did that, threw a backwards pass to Tyler Feldkamp, who threw the ball downfield to Michael Paulson for the touchdown, except it was not a skip on the ground. And the ball is fumbled. It's picked up by Ashley. He's still going to be able to do something with this. He rolls left. He's looking for somebody, and it's incomplete. He was going for Feldkamp. Roosevelt sideline looking for a flag. It's incomplete. It's 3rd and 2, but Ashley is still able to, and there's a flag actually down around the 7.
Second down.
So Washington will take the penalty, and it'll be 2nd and 7 from the 8. And we'll find out if Roosevelt's still able to put the ball in the end zone to score their 5th touchdown of the first quarter. Ashley takes the snap, rolls right. It's a shovel to Tyree Nave. And he gets to about the 5, a gain of 3. It's 3rd down and short for Roosevelt. As Washington played that pretty well off the pitch. Third down and 3 for Roosevelt. They got a lot to work with here. And this is probably going to be coming back for a false start.
Snap. Offense number 56, 5-yard penalty. 3rd down.
So an illegal snap on the center, Nick Bunkers. And it's 3rd down and 8. Now I'll maybe limit the playbook just a little bit. Still 3rd down and 8 for a conversion that the Riders are obviously still capable of making. And Roosevelt, this will probably be the last play of the first quarter unless it's an incomplete pass. And Ashley will look over the middle, and it's incomplete, too high for Presley Johnson. And it's 4th down. We'll see if maybe Kim Nelson wants to give his kicker a rep here on a field goal. But it looks like the offense is going to stay out there and go for it. Nope, never mind. They're going to send out Bennett Yellowbird in the kick unit. I would just give him a rep here, make sure that Kim Nelson is confident with his kicker going into the playoffs. It's a 27-yard kick for Yellowbird from the right hash. Snap is good, hold is good, kick is good. Yellowbird good from 27 yards. And the Riders lead it by 30 with 17 seconds left to go as the Washington defense, at least there, makes a hold. In the red zone, we'll be back for the Washington possession. Welcome back to HowardWoodField. 17 seconds left in the first quarter. Paxton Fleming to kick it away again for the Riders. Back to return is Malcolm Johnson. This time it won't be Johnson, it's Josh Piper. And he returns it up past the 30 to the 32. And we'll see if Washington can do a little more here in this drive. They did pick up a first down last drive before fumbling it on the next play. But it was off a penalty. So maybe not the way they would like to have gotten their first down of. And they'll reset the play clock. So likely one play to end the first quarter unless it's an incomplete pass. It's Thompson back with 10 on the play clock. He takes the snap. It was a little high snap, and it's a screen to Piper. And Piper is brought down by Tucker Large. A nice tackle. No gain, maybe even a loss. And the clock will stop as Piper went out of bounds. So Washington's going to get one more play for the end of this quarter. Thompson in the gun. Takes a snap, pressure coming. It's another screen to Piper. That's going to go for about 3, and that'll take us to the end of the first quarter. A completely dominant first quarter by the Rough Riders. They lead it 30-0 over the Washington Warriors. We'll be back for the second quarter.
Hello, guest. We are pleased to have you at HowardWoodField. The Sioux Falls School District Activities Department's top priority is and will be the health and safety of our student participants, staff, and spectators as we work to provide activities for the 2020-2021 school year. District administrators have worked with city, state, and national officials to develop the following safety guidelines and protocols for each activity. These guidelines and protocols will provide the opportunity for safety at our activities and ultimately support our primary goal of continuing a traditional school setting in the Sioux Falls School District. Following CDC guidelines, masks are expected for our guests. Please be respectful of others during your visit and as you exit the stadium today. Mingling, socializing, as well as tailgating is prohibited. Observe social distancing, spacing at least 6 feet apart from another group while seated on the bleachers. Small children to middle school age children should remain seated with family before and during the event. Restrooms and concessions are available, but adults should accompany children to monitor proper hand washing.
Welcome back to Howard Field for the start of the second quarter. Rough Riders lead by 30, a 3rd and 7 upcoming for Washington. As Washington really couldn't get anything going through the air or on the ground. Thompson on 3rd and 7. Steps up in the pocket, and he is going to be brought down for a loss. As Lane Ferguson was in there for the sack. And that'll bring up a punt for the Warriors. And their offense had only 23 total yards of offense in that first quarter on 13 plays, and the Riders had 218. So they'd be, and Large almost caught that, but he just lets it drop, and it took a good Roosevelt bounce, and the Riders will start at the 38. But yeah, 3 turnovers for Washington to none for Roosevelt, one of them being a pick 6. And yeah, 218 yards, almost on pace for 900. Obviously, that won't happen. But just a completely dominant 9 first downs to 1. Rushing yards 66 to 20. Passing yards 152 to 3. Just a completely dominant performance for Roosevelt as Teray takes that to the right side up to the 42. Gain of 5 will set up a 2nd and 5. Yeah, so this game doesn't matter too much for the Riders, but obviously you still want to beat your rival, Washington. And Roosevelt will probably hope to rest their starters before playoffs, where they will likely play on Thursday night. They'll have the choice to play Thursday or Friday, which they'll probably choose Thursday night. At 6, we got a penalty.
5-yard penalty, 2nd up.
False start on the Riders. Maybe that's one thing that Kim Nelson would like to see improve. They have been kind of struck by penalties a little bit this year, especially on that offensive line. A lot of false starts, a lot of legal men downfield. Not even a lot of holds, just a lot of that. And Teray up the middle, not really anything. And Washington defense, for one of the first few times tonight, is able to stuff the Roosevelt run game. And it's 3rd and 10 for Roosevelt. Ashley Hearn right back up to the line. It's 3rd and 10. It's just a little screen to Feldkamp. He shouldn't get the first down, but he will. And Tyler Feldkamp gets it into Washington territory. He had really no business in getting that first down. There was multiple Warrior defenders there on the sideline, but he's just able to scoot right on by him. And he picks up 16 on 3rd and 10 on the bubble screen. And are they respotting was there a flag? And it's still 3rd down. It's 3rd and 15. Maybe an illegal men down. No, it's 4th and 15. That's no 3rd. 3rd down was probably an illegal men downfield because if it was a false start, they would have blown the play dead. Well, anyways, it's 3rd and 15. Washington catches a break. Roosevelt needed another big play downfield to pick this up. Ashley rolls right, gets a block from Teray. Ashley's going to run, has a lot of room, and he is going to pick up the first down or be a yard short. We'll see where they spot it, and that's going to be enough for the first down. Ashley got a key block there from Joe Teray. Allowed him to get going and had a lot of open space to work with. Oh, no, they'll mark it short. It's 4th and 1, but the Riders are going to hurry up and go for it. That's a snap to throw to Feldkamp. It's caught, and he's going to be knocked down by his own man, short of the first down. And he kind of ran into the receiver, Noah Hartz, and fell short of the first down. You got to think he might have been he had a very good chance to pick up that first down if that didn't happen. And Washington will take over in Roosevelt territory. Probably the first time in the game that they'll get into Roosevelt territory. And we'll see if the Washington offense can capitalize on their best field position of the night. From the 46. Max Thompson in the gun, 2 receivers to his right. Play action, looks left. He's got Malcolm Johnson, who can't hold on to the ball. It was a little low. Still probably a ball Malcolm Johnson wishes he could have caught. 2nd and 10 for Washington. So 9:12 to go. Thompson back in the shotgun again. Thompson's snap was a little wide, but he hands it off to Michael Johnson, who gains a yard. And it's another 3rd down and long for the Warriors. They've had a lot of them today. And they've got another one upcoming. So it's the only game here at HowardWoodField tonight. The Patriots are on the road. We could see a lot of well, probably about every weekend next year with the Jefferson Cavaliers being a thing, having 2 games a weekend here. And Thompson throws right wide of his intended target, Malcolm Johnson. It's 4th down and 9. We'll see, and the Warriors will bring up the punt team. And they'll punt it back to the Riders, who force another 3 and out on defense. Barron's back to punt again. Hasn't actually had to punt a ton today. The Warriors have had a lot of turnovers. And there's a low snap, it bounced. He's got a rugby punt it, and that is, we'll see where that's going to be marked at. And Washington's looking for a roughing the punter. We'll see where this is marked. Oh, man. Oh, man. That will go down as a 7-yard punt by Luke Behrens. not a lot you can do. You got huge D linemen coming at you. Might have even gotten a little piece of that. Or maybe that might have actually been a loss of a punt. Or a loss of, yeah, that was a loss of yards. Yeah, minus 3-yard punt. I was looking at the wrong 45-yard line there. It's a negative yard punt by Luke Behrens. This is just completely shanked out of bounds. And Ashley gives it to Feldkamp on the jet sweep. He cuts it right, and he's going to be brought down after a gain of 2. A nice tackle there on the sideline. That was Matthew Eggman on the tackle there on the sideline for Washington. And it's 2nd down and 8, under 8 minutes left in the second quarter. There's a lot of ice down on the side of the field. It's falling off of the lights. And a little bit is actually in the field of play. Ashley looks left on the sideline, and I don't think he got him bounced. No, he did not. Griffin willed. He couldn't quite, or he caught the ball, just couldn't get the foot down. I think he might have got 1 foot down, but he got his other foot down when he was already out of bounds. Otherwise, a nice throw from Ashley on the run. Oh, yeah, I think that right knee was down, out of bounds, before his left knee went down in bounds. Because yes, you only need 1 foot down at the high school level. 3rd down and 8, 1 second left on the play clock for Ashley. He looks deep, he avoids the sack, is rolling left, he goes left, Ashley's tripped up from behind by Randolph Kapai, who's been a big bright spot for Washington this year. On a punt coming for Roosevelt, it's 4th down and 5. Actually couldn't quite get out of the reach of Kapai. First punt of the game for Roosevelt, and we are halfway through the second quarter about. And Washington's showing pressure, maybe looking to get a block. A low snap, but Dandenbrand's able to scoop it out and tries to sell it, and he gets the flag. And that's going to pick up the first down, I think, either way. Even if it's a... And it is just a running into the kicker, but we'll see if it's a first down or if it's inches. And I think it's going to be a first down. Even if it's 4th and 1, the Riders still might go for it. And it looks from the spot that it's going to be a first down. Maybe they might have to bring out the chains here for a measurement. Yeah, and they will bring it out for measurement. It looks from here that it's going to have enough for the first down. There from the tip of the ball. And here comes the officials with the chains. Ooh. And he pointed the other way, even though it's still 4th down. It does look to be inches short. There it is. It'll be 4th and inches for the Riders. They'll still probably go for it. Official thought it was 4th down. We'll see what the Riders decide to do. And they're going to bring the offense on the field and maybe work on their 4th and short plays a little bit. Maybe turning this into a little practice here to prepare for the playoffs, where Roosevelt will look to put their recent struggles in the playoffs away. Maybe they're just going to try and they'll probably have to take a timeout here, and they will. So a little miscommunication. We'll see if they decide to bring out the punt unit now. After maybe they would try and give them offsides, but I'm not sure. It'll be 4th and 1 for the Riders from the Washington 42 when we come back.
When the world changes, you change with it. By embracing new rhythms, redefining connection, and taking less for granted, you push through the uncertainty. And at every point along the way, we stand with you. Because even when your world looks different, our commitment to your care stays the same. Sanford Health. Health lives here.
Welcome back to HowardWoodField. 4th and 1 for the Riders. Ton of options here for this Roosevelt offense on 4th and short. Ashley in the pistol formation. And Ashley hands it off up the middle to Tyree Nave. He's going to pick up the first down and more. Tyree Nave up to the 36, a gain of 6. And that'll be enough for the first down for the Riders. So we're just getting about to the halfway point of the second quarter. Roosevelt looking for their first score of the quarter. So Ashley's in the shotgun. Tyree Nave in the backfield. And that's going to be a false start.
Offense number 56, 5-yard penalty, still first down.
That was Joe Cotton, the left tackle, who committed the false start. It's first down at 15 for Roosevelt. Feldkamp in motion again. Ashley will keep. And it'll be dragged down after a gain of 3. And it's 2nd and 12. That was Jacob Woolway on the tackle for Washington. $15 seconds left on the play clock, 5.5 minutes to go in the first half. Ashley on the speed option will pitch. Tyree Nave takes it down the sideline, cuts back, spin move. We'll bring it all the way down to the 20. And it'll be an 18-yard pickup for Tyree Nave on a nicely executed speed option right there. A gain of 18. First down. That's just a great job by Ashley there. Just slowing down the defender, make him make a decision. And he committed to stopping Taylor and Ashley, so he's just going to say, pitch the ball, especially at this level. It's actually the right decision to make. Make them make the pitch left, which can be fumbled very easily. Tyree Nave with the carry right up the gut, makes a move and gets down to the 11-yard line. A gain of 9, and it's 2nd and short for Roosevelt. And Roosevelt going hurry-up offense. Tyler Feldkamp back there in the backfield. It's another handoff to Nave, right up the gut, who's going to spin inside the 10, down to the 1, and it'll be 1st and goal, Roosevelt from the 1-yard line. And Roosevelt's just going to hurry up right up to the line and probably just run it right up the middle again. Actually, the ball is on the ground, and I think Roosevelt fell on the ball. Ooh, man. Almost a disaster. There was Nick Bunkers, the center, who actually fell back on the ball. just on the transfer there. Actually pulled it down. I'm not sure why they didn't just hand it off to Tyree Navy and just ran had two really good runs right at the middle. Surprised they didn't just give it to him again. It's 2nd down and 6 now. 3 seconds left on the play clock. Ashley will hand it off to Feldkamp, who will go up the middle and will pound his way in for the touchdown, his 2nd of the game. A passing and this time now a rushing touchdown. Feldkamp with the touchdown, and the Riders lead at 36-0 in the 2nd quarter. And Tyler Feldkamp's he's so versatile. You can put him in the backfield, you can put him in motion. You can just do so many different ways and be such a big impact.
Yards. That will be a step to kick off.
So some kind of personal foul on the Warriors after the play. So Roosevelt will take that for the kickoff. Bennett Yellowbird to kick the PAT. Kicks good, and the Riders lead at 37-0. So now Roosevelt will kick it off from the 50, or probably even further. Be the 45 actually. So it'd probably be a time where you would try an onside kick, but up by 37, that's not necessary. So we'll be back here in 30 seconds when Washington gets the football back. Welcome back to Howard Wood Field. 37-0 Riders on top. Under 4 minutes to go. Paxton Fleming will kick off from the 45. We'll see if he just boots it into the end zone or if he'll maybe try a short squib kick. And if he can maybe kick the ball inside the 5-yard line, that'd probably be the best scenario. So Roosevelt would probably be almost guaranteed to pin Washington inside the 20. Fleming to kick it away for Roosevelt. With the wind, he's got a holder. And he'll just kick it into the end zone for a touchback. And Washington will start from the 20. As Max Thompson and the offense will try and find some answers on offense. They have not gotten anything going. 1 first down on the night, and that came off of a penalty on a roughing the passer by the Roosevelt defense. So Washington will just be looking for something to build into next week, when really the regular season is almost doesn't really matter anymore. It's on to playoffs. Thompson with a fullback dive to Gabe Freerich, as they've done that once before, and he barrels his way forward to the 26. Is probably Freerich, even though he's only had 2 carries, is probably pretty close to being the leading rusher for the Warriors on the night. Michael Johnson still probably edges him out there in a little bit, but maybe something we could see a little more if they continue to get him 5-6 yards a carry. And it's a cold night out here. It's probably going to be like this every game for the rest of the season. Probably won't see any more 60, 50-degree games like we see in the first few weeks of the season. This is when you know playoff football's arriving. And there's another fullback dive to Friedrich as he picks up the first down. The first actual kind of Washington first down on the night. And it's first down and 10 for Washington from their own 32. Under 3 minutes left to go. Washington will get the ball to start the second half. They got all 3 timeouts left. They want to make a scoring drive down the field. Thompson takes a snap, hands it off to Michael Johnson again, and he's stopped for a loss. Maybe pushed his way forward to the line of scrimmage, but that's probably about it. And that'll be no gain. Just about to the 2-minute mark. This first half, it's been all Roosevelt. And their defense has gotten pressure, forced turnovers. Thompson in the I formation. Takes a snap, hands off Friedrich's again. And the fullback barrels, and the ball might have been, and I think there's another fumble here. And Roosevelt's acting like they got it. And they do. The Riders force their 4th turnover of the game. And this onslaught just continues. Can't tell who forced the fumble or recovered. We'll see if they give their turnover chain that they have down there. And that's probably when we'll find out who. It was Bennett Dannenbring who at least forced it. Maybe he recovered it, I don't know. Either forced it or recovered it, or one of the two. Ashley from the Washington 36. It's a handoff to Joe Torre. Joe Torre right up the gut. Is going to pound forward to the 25. It's a first down for Roosevelt. Under 2 minutes to go. We'll see if the Riders maybe try and score one more time here before half. Before they call dogs. Play action from Ashley. Over the middle, it's tipped and incomplete. Nice tip by the defensive back, Zach Burgers. No, that's Barons. And it's second down and 10 for Roosevelt. 1:35 left in the second quarter. Roosevelt from the 25. Maybe they try a long field goal from here just to work on their kicking. Obviously not right now, but if it gets to be 4th down. 5 seconds left on the play clock. Ashley takes a snap, the speed option, and they pitch it to Torre, who's going to have a good gain to the left side. That's going to be short of the first down to the 17. It's third and 2. We'll see what Kim Nelson draws up here on 3rd and short. Minute left to go in the first half. It's been all Roosevelt. Ashley hands off Torre again, up the middle. Torre inside the 10. Torre inside to the 8-yard line. First and goal Riders with 53 seconds left to go. 1 timeout for Roosevelt. Should still have plenty of time. .45 seconds left. Clock is running. Ashley will hand it off to Torre again. That's going to get inside the 3, all the way down to about the 1.5-yard line. With 35 seconds left to go, Roosevelt might hurry it up a little bit. 30 seconds left on the game clock. Ashley hands it off to Torre again, who will barrel his way in for a Roosevelt touchdown. And the Riders extend the lead as they are pouring it on now. And it's 43-0. Bennett Yellowbird coming on to attempt another extra point. We've seen them use actually 3 different kickers this year. But Bennett Yellowbird over the past few weeks has seemed to be kicking most of the extra points and field goals. And this extra point is up and good. And the Riders lead at 44-0 with 22 seconds left in the first half. And we'll see if Washington will try and do something or if they'll just knee it into halftime. And we'll be back for Washington's final drive of the half. Welcome back to HowardWoodField. 22 seconds left in the first half. Riders up by 44. As we have one half of regular season football left until it's officially the postseason. Paxton Fleming to kick it away again for Roosevelt. And it's just a little squib kick. That'll be downed at the 28. As Caden Schmidt will just fall on the football. And the Warriors will take over from the 28. We'll see if they are just content to knee it out into the locker room. And it looks like they're going to try and do something. It's a handoff up the middle, and the ball is on the ground, and the Roosevelt Rough Riders have recovered the football. The 5th turnover of the half for Washington. I'm not really sure what happened there. We'll see if the Riders will now just knee it out. So the 5th turn, just a handoff, and the ball just went straight to the ground. Looks like the Riders are going to try and score again, or maybe just run the ball. Hey, maybe do what I said earlier and try a long field goal. See if your kicker can make a 40-something yard field goal. Ashley takes a snap, rolls left, and there's a flag, probably a false start.
The snap. Ball start. Offensive number 65. Please.
So a false start on the Rider offensive line. That was Nick Pruitt. That'll bump the Riders back 5 yards to the 37. And with 12 seconds to go, Ashley will roll left, probably doing the same play. He'll throw the comeback route, and it's out of the hands of Griffin Wilde. And there's 7 seconds left. And if they run that play again and can convert it, they can probably get it up to about the 25. And then they either try a field goal or they throw it to the end zone. Seven seconds left. Ashley with 2 receivers to his right and 2 receivers to his left. And he's going to roll. This is looking to be the last play of the half, and Ashley's just going to be wrapped up at the 35 after a gain of 2. And at halftime, the Rough Riders, with a half of dominance, making a statement over one of their rivals. The Sioux Falls Washington Warriors will be back in 15 minutes for the second half. It's Rough Riders 44, Warriors 0.
Hello, guest. We are pleased to have you at HowardWoodField. The Sioux Falls School District Activities Department's top priority is and will be the health and safety of our student participants, staff, and spectators as we work to provide activities for the 2020-2021 school year. District administrators have worked with city, state, and national officials to develop the following safety guidelines and protocols for each activity. These guidelines and protocols will provide the opportunity for safety at our activities and ultimately support our primary goal of continuing a traditional school setting in the Sioux Falls School District. Following CDC guidelines, masks are expected for our guests. Please be respectful of others during your visit and as you exit the stadium today. Mingling, socializing, as well as tailgating is prohibited. Observe social distancing, spacing at least 6 feet apart from another group while seated on the bleachers. Small children to middle school age children should remain seated with family before and during the event. Restrooms and concessions are available, but adults should accompany children to monitor proper hand washing and proper social distancing. Water fountains are not available. Please leave the facility today immediately following the event. And as you are leaving, please leave 6 feet between you and the group ahead of you. Thank you for your assistance in providing a safe environment for our events.
Welcome back to HowardWoodField for the second half of this football game. I'm Brent Bowen, and the Riders lead it 14-0 over the Warriors. Washington will get the football to start the second half. The Warriors looking to at least put together a little offense before next week, where they will go on the road to either back here at HowardWoodField against Lincoln for the third time this year, to McEnany Field to play O'Gorman, or to Tiger Stadium, I think is Harrisburg's field name, to play Harrisburg. Harrisburg is beating O'Gorman in that game, which I think will make O'Gorman the 5th seed, and then Harrisburg and Lincoln for the 3 and 4 is a toss-up, not sure. We'll have it all figured out, at least the 1 through 6, and the 7-8 will be decided tomorrow night. And I think Rapid City Central will be the first team, will be in the playoffs if a team has to opt out due to COVID, which we've seen happen a few times this year. Roosevelt ready to boot it away. And the ball's falling off the tee again. They'll probably need a holder. Malcolm Johnson and Josh Piper back to receive the kick. And we'll have a running clock for the second half, and just Fleming will just a little squib kick. Will be picked up at the 20 and ran forward all the way up to the 33. That was Chase Gunderson on the return. And Washington will start their first drive of the second half from their own 33. It's Max Thompson in the offense will look for some building points. 5 turnovers in the first half by this offense. 2 of them were interceptions by Max Thompson. 1 of them was returned for a touchdown. He'll start from his own 33 in shotgun. He's got a 1-on-1 down there with Josh Piper. We'll see if they take a shot to start the second half. And that's exactly where he's looking. And that might be a penalty on a hold, but it's not. Probably too far out of the reach of Josh Piper, who is the only Warrior with a catch. Only 2 completions for Max Thompson today, for 3 yards, both on screen passes. I'm pretty sure those were back-to-back plays as well. And the Rider backups will probably get a lot of reps here in the second half. And there's a handoff up the middle. That's Blessing Tanaya, backup running back. Gains about 4. I'll set up a 3rd and 6 from the 37. See what this offense has got. See if they can make a play. And they only have 2 first downs in the first half. Don't think they moved the ball past midfield. Thompson, screen pass, and it's over the head of Malcolm Johnson, an incomplete pass. And it's 4th down, a 3 and out, and a punt coming for the Warriors. Barons has been busy tonight with the punts. Actually had a negative 3-yard punt, his last punt, or maybe 2 punts ago. Tucker Large back to return for the Riders. Barons boots it away. It's a really good punt, actually. Takes a Warrior bounce, out of bounds at the 19. That was a 43-yard punt. Not a bad punt there. And the Riders will start inside their own 20 for probably the first time today. They had good field position all night.
Unrivaled
a lot of
agility
Warriors
and
turnovers.
SDN's managed cybersecurity services help Hank connect and serve all of his office locations with ease.
But Ashley
Up
on
your
the offense
IT
and
game
the starters
with SDN's
will be
reliable
out there for the
broadband
start of this
network.
drive.
Enjoy the uptime.
Under 9 minutes left to go in this third quarter, which has a running clock. Ashley hands it off to Teray up the middle. Teray gets stopped after a gain of 3. And it's 2nd and 7. For Roosevelt. Second and 6, Ashley in the pistol. 3 receivers to his right. Takes a snap, handoff up the middle to Ray. Ray's got a good run. He's got a first down. Up past the 30 to the 31. Gain of 8. 1st and 10. Roosevelt. On a cold night down there on the turf. Ashley hands off to Ray. Up the gut. That's gonna. The line's just gonna keep pushing further up to the 41 for a gain of 9. Yeah, a cold night here. 34 degrees right now. It's been about what it's been all day. But next Thursday, for when likely Roosevelt will play in the first round, it'll be 41. They'll have the choice. It'll be 48 on Friday. So they'll have a couple cold games in a row. Just hope to not have any snow games. Bad weather might be the only way that this Rough Rider offense will be stopped right now. There's Teray up the middle. We're gain of 2. That's enough for a first down to the 43. It's probably the last possession for the starters in this game. But it was good. Kim Nelson wants to give these starters some reps because they've only had one game in really a month. First home game for the Riders in 6 weeks. They played President's Bowl against the Lincoln Patriots, and that's been their only home game of the season, and it was a kind of a neutral site with the Patriots. And there's Feldkamp on the jet sweep. He's got a big gain. Feldkamp down the right sideline, inside the 45 to about the 44. So the Riders really didn't have a real home game this year. They were supposed to play Aberdeen Central here for homecoming. That game got canceled. And they were supposed to play Rapid City Central the next week. That game also got canceled. So they went 3 weeks without playing a game. They won by 40 in Watertown last week. And homecoming was supposed to be 3 weeks ago, but it's kind of today. The homecoming football game is at least today. As 2 weeks in a row, Roosevelt was not able to find an opponent. Washington and Lincoln were able to play each other for the second time this year. After each team could not play due to COVID outbreaks. Teray up the middle. We're gaining 2. That's a helmet. Who's on the play enough to come out for a play. And it's 2nd down for Roosevelt. Already over halfway through third quarter. Roosevelt still in big control. Ashley with Feldkamp and Teray in the backfield. Just hands it off to Teray again, right up the middle. Right up the middle. Joe Teray with a big run inside the 25. How big has Joe Teray been for this offense? Had to step up last year in Tyree Nave's absence. And came up huge for the Rough Riders. And he's made even bigger strides in his senior season. Him and Tyree Nave are a really good 1-2 duo in the backfield. That's tough to stop. And Roosevelt will just continue to run this clock down. They're inside the 25. 10 seconds left on the play clock. Ashley takes the snap on the option, pitches it to Feldkamp. Feldkamp makes a move down the sideline. Tyler Feldkamp cuts back again. Tyler Feldkamp is into the end zone for the touchdown. 24 yards, Feldkamp with his second rushing touchdown of the game, his third total touchdown. He's having a monster game so far. Over 100 receiving yards as well, or at least close to 100 receiving yards. Oh, and this is coming back. a plane ready for takeoff at the airport right next door. You can probably hear it. So a key block in the back there for Roosevelt wipes away that touchdown. So Feldkamp does not get his third touchdown of the night. And it's 1st and 19 for Roosevelt. Under 10 seconds left on the play clock at 5. Ashley got trips to his right. Feldkamp coming in motion. He hands off the middle to Teray. Teray maybe got a yard to the 32. And a 2nd and long for the Riders, who have ran the ball all over this Washington defense. Tyree Nave and Joe Torrey both having field days out here running through this Washington defense. Second and 18 for the Roosevelt offense. Ashley throws a screen pass to Tyler Feldkamp. Tyler on the left edge, cuts back, stays in bounds, and is able to get a few more yards out of it, up inside the 25 to the 23. It's 3rd down and 9 for the Riders. As Feldkamp continues his good day. Third down and 10 for the Riders. We'll see what Ashley's got. He takes a snap, looks right, he's going to quarterback draw. No, he's going to throw, and it's tipped and almost intercepted. It's Caden Schmidt there with the deflection. It's 4th down. We'll see if the Riders decide to go for it or maybe try a field goal. And it looks like the offense was going to stay on the field and go for it. 4th and 10. Just over 2 minutes left in the 3rd quarter. .15 seconds left on the play clock. And it looks like Roosevelt might have to use a timeout here. 1 second left on the play clock. Ashley just gets it off in time. He's going to look left. He's going to the end zone, and it's incomplete. He was going for Griffin Wilde. And it's incomplete. A turnover on downs. Ashley looking for a flag. Oh, and there is a flag. We'll see what's on. And another ineligible man downfield. We've seen that a few times today from the Riders. Seen that a lot this season from the Riders. Penalty has declined. It is a turnover on downs. And the Warriors will get the ball back for the 2nd time this half with 1:15 left in the 3rd quarter. So clock's running. The Warriors are taking their sweet time. First and 10 for Washington from their own 24. Under 10 seconds left on the play clock. 45 seconds left in the 3rd quarter. Thompson takes a snap. Looks left, is going to run it up the middle. We haven't seen him run the ball a lot today. It's again a 3 to the 27. Washington will probably run one more play before the end of the quarter. We'd assume so. .20 seconds left on the game clock. Washington seems really content right now to run this out. Thompson on the gun. 6 seconds left. He's going to go deep. He's got a man, and it is caught. And going down the sideline is Carson Strom for the touchdown. 73 yards to Carson Strom, who's been non-existent all night, and the Warriors are finally on the board as they finally get an explosive play on offense, which has been missing all game. And that almost seems like a win right there for Washington. Maybe a play right there to give their offense a spark coming forward. The laser from Luke Behrens is good. Almost didn't even know if that was going to get over the crossbar, but it is good. And the Riders lead 44-7 after 3. We're going into the 4th. Roosevelt up by a lot. We'll be back. Welcome back to HowardWoodField for the start of this 4th quarter. Washington finally gets on the board after that 73-yard touchdown to Carson Strom. That was actually the only score of the quarter, so Washington actually won that 3rd quarter. And Feldkamp is set to receive that kick, and he's going to take it down the left sideline. Only the 2nd kick return of the night for the Riders. Both have been pretty good. Feldkamp takes that one to the 35, which is where the Riders will start their next drive. And Bennett Dannenbrand into the game at quarterback. There's a flag on the play. So it's unsportsmanlike conduct on number 6 on one of the teams. Couldn't tell. Couldn't catch who he said or what team our official said. Oh, well, it must be on Roosevelt because the kick is coming back to the 20. Penalties on Caden Frick. Bennett Dannenbrand into the game at quarterback. 10 seconds left on the play clock. Under 11 minutes left in the game. Dannenbrand will keep to the right side, and he will be brought down as he is tackled. A nice tackle by Randolph Kapai, who's been their best defensive player so far this year. Just ran down Dannenbrand. Loss of 2. It's 2nd and long. Dannenbrand or Javon DeVille into the game now. Javon DeVille, the senior, coming in to play now for the Riders. So now we'll put out some seniors into the game for the last kind of the senior night, or only the 2nd home game of the season. DeVille takes the snap, he'll throw it, and he is, whoever caught that just got big hit. That was Austin Wynn on the catch. A loss of 3, and it's 3rd and 21 from the 9. Bennett Dannenbrand back in the game at quarterback. He takes a snap, is going to roll right. He's in the end zone. He's telling his guys to go deep. He's going to throw it down the sideline, and it's incomplete. He was going for Sam Stanford. Really all he could do there was just play some defense and avoid the interception. Bennett Dannenbrand back to punt it away for Roosevelt. And Josh Piper back to return it for Washington, as the Warriors should Should be the first time that the Warriors will get good field position. They've been backed up inside their own 30 in about every drive. Dannenberg back to punt it away. Low snap. And the kick is going to bounce at about the 40. Piper picks it up and is going to be brought down at the 47. Brody Erickson was in there on the tackle. And Washington will take over
When the
from the
world
Roosevelt
changes,
47 with 7.5
you
minutes to
change
go.
with it. By
in this
embracing
ballgame.
new rhythms, redefining connection, and taking less for granted, you push through the uncertainty. And at every point along the way, we stand with you. Because even when your world looks different, our commitment to your care stays the same. Sanford Health. Health lives here.
First down and 10 for Washington. 7 minutes left. 10 seconds on the play clock. The snap is fumbled, and Noah Robertson is into the game at quarterback. So Max Thompson seems done for the night. Gain of 2. 2nd and 8 for Washington. Clock's now ticking to 6.5 minutes. That's a handoff up the middle to Blessing Tanaya up to the 40. Gain of 5. Third down and 3 for Washington. And they'll go for it on 4th down, we'd assume. And it's a handoff to Tanaya again. And he looks to pick up the first down, and he does. To the 36. First down, Washington. One of very few first downs on the night. Their one touchdown was on a big play to Carson Strom. And Carson Strom, who's been one of the better weapons for Washington this year, that was his only target of the game. He hadn't been targeted at all. And it's a high snap. Another handoff to Tanaya, who spins right into a Roosevelt defender for a loss. And it's 2nd and 12 for the Warriors. So Washington taking their time here. Under 5 minutes left to go. That's a handoff to Blessing Tanaya, who tries to reverse field, but is going to be dropped for a loss at the 40. Loss of 2 more. It's 3rd down and 14 for Washington. Drew Himmelman on the tackle. Clock still ticking to 4:10. Noah Robertson takes a snap, play action going to the left, and it's through the hands of a beat-up patient. And Washington will come out and punt the ball away. And nobody's back to receive for Roosevelt. So they'll just probably let this go for a touchback. Barron's punt is away. And that looks to go into the end zone for a touchback unless Washington can pin it. And they will at inside the 1 yard line. Nice punt from Behrens. And Roosevelt will start at the goal line. Likely just hand the ball off a few times and end this game. So under 3 minutes, we'll look ahead. We kind of already looked ahead a little bit. The Rough Riders will play as many games at Howard Wood Field in the postseason as they did in the regular season. While the Warriors will finish at 3-6 as they played all 9 games. And Micah Albert Gonzalez with the catch there to the 19. That was first down for Roosevelt from the 19 with 2:15 left. Roosevelt finished the season 7-0. And will look to avenge themselves from 2 second-round exits in back-to-back years. Bennett Dannebrand looking left, and his throw is almost intercepted, and it ends up in the hands of Austin Wynn. Second down and 3. With under 2 minutes to go at 1:40. So likely 2 handoffs here to end the game. And it's a jet sweep to the right for a gain of 2 to Austin Wynn again. And it's going to be third and about a half yard for Roosevelt. Never mind, they'll give him the first down here. And we're ticking down to 1 minute left of regular season high school football. Kind of hard to believe the season's already over. Seemed like it just started last week. Well, really haven't been out here a lot. At least us here in the booth. Bennett Dannebrand with a run up the middle for 2. And there's a 2-second difference, so also I'll have to snap it one more time. Javon DeVille into the game at quarterback, 20 seconds left. Roosevelt will have to snap it. Oh, never mind, they won't have to snap it one more. They reset the clock. Roosevelt will anyways, and the ball's on the ground. And it is recovered by the Warriors. So a fumble there by DeVille. And it is recovered by the Warriors, who forced their first turnover of the game, and that will do it. The Sioux Falls Roosevelt Rough Riders improved to 7-0 with a dominant performance over the Washington Warriors and win 44-7. The Washington Warriors dropped to 3-6 and will more than likely be the 6th seed in this year's high school football playoffs. So that'll do it. Thank you all for watching, and for our amazing crew, I'm Brent Bowen. Thank you for watching this presentation of high school football on the HowardWoodField YouTube channel. Final score, Roosevelt 44, Washington 7. Good night.